you jump into chat, because then if they ask you a question directly and like you're already talking, you can, you know, go back to that and let them know what your thoughts are. And then let me get the word sent out to the boys. Make sure you're on the K Couchington one. That's the one that has the stream going.
Got you. Wait, do you have to make a new account and stuff, right?
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yeah, unfortunately my PSN thing got reported again, so...
What? From who? Do you have no idea?
Oh no, it was some frickin', you know, teenager that got pissed because I said he was bad at a game we were playing, and so yeah, that's basically how that turned out. Harassment, apparently, even though all I said was say he sucks, basically. And I said it once, so it's like, bro, calm down, okay? I'm sure you've seen some people that I've gone off on.
Why didn't you stream on your old Couch account?
Because that can only be linked to a singular a singular Twitch account. Twitch is only allowed to have one singular PSN account on there, and vice versa.
But can't you? We'll figure it out. I'll try to see if I can help you with it.
Yeah, if you can figure something out, that would be cool. Like if I can transfer the Twitch to a different PSN or something, that would be cool.
Let me see. Did you tweet it out?
I'm doing it right now. I'm going to send it here and then put it into the other Discords that we're in, or that I'm in, so that everyone gets a chance at it. And trust me, there's going to be some football questions, because, you know, we're on the off season and, you know, all that fun stuff. People are going to want to know your opinions on those.
Whatever you got, I'll try to answer to my best of my ability.
Sounds good. Okay, so, so far it's just you and myself in here, I believe, unless you haven't clicked on mine yet, in which case it's just me. I just tweeted it out, so you can hop in when you're whenever you want, whenever you feel comfortable with it. And luckily, if I got you for an hour and a half, that means my next guest I only need on for about an hour, and then I'll just need a couple more days, and then I got affiliate down, as long as my viewership doesn't drop too bad. Did I already put you in here? Did I? Did I already put you in here? Okay, no, I didn't put it in Murphy D's yet. Hey, Ammo. How you doing, man? We're about to start asking some questions here. Glad to see you popped in here. Go ahead and... Yeah, how have you been, Ammo? I'm pretty sure they should be able to hear you. I made sure that with your normal talking volume, they should be able to hear anything you're saying. And I have my own stream. Yeah, you can... That's probably a smart idea for you to test that out, too, just to make sure. I'm going to have my own stream kind of lurking me as well, so... Not bad, not bad. About to whip up some food. Oh, what are you making, Ammo?
Yeah, I can hear me.
Alright, that's as long as you can be heard by people, which since you can hear you, obviously everyone else should be able to. Then that's good, because I know with I think it was Craigie the first day, we had some somewhat small malfunctions going on with sound, so that...
If you want to turn my voice up a little bit, then that would be better.
I think... Yeah, I got you all the way up on the phone itself, though I think in the settings I can up you a little bit more.
Just a smidge.
Or I can do a real quick... go to the menu of the Twitch, or to the PSN menu real quick and just turn the sensitivity up a bit.
What do you mean?
Because the mic settings for PSN, there's a actual like menu for audio. And basically I can go into that and like up the volume in there which I just did that, and then... Okay, now you should be a little bit louder now.
Okay. Yeah, it should be good then. It was just like a little bit.
Okay, so for those of you who are popping in right now, making turkey enchiladas, enchilada bowls, that's pretty good. For those of you who missed the last couple streams, so far, when Craigie was on, it was 1-0-1 record. For Mr. Clapp, it was 1-1, and then with Rocks, they went 2-0 on the games we watched. And let's see if Super Splash can give our guys a couple more wins here while we're interviewing him. Okay, so Splash.
Oh, you're on PlayStation.
Okay, Splash.
What's up, man?
So let's start with the most obvious question everyone's going to get asked this anytime they're on the podcast. But what and who got you into streaming, would you say?
Streaming? Okay, so I don't think there's any particular person that got me into streaming. Other than one of my, he's a streamer friend, but he's also an IRL friend of mine. But I think the whole idea of content creation came, I think, back in like 2018, 2019. It was definitely pre-pandemic time. It was just an idea of mine that I really wanted to get into because, I had friends that are around me that said, that I should get into it, that I have the personality for it. So I didn't think too much of it, but I kind of still, it was always in the back of my head. And then I think everyone was affected by COVID around March, April, May of 2020, where we're stuck in our houses, trying to figure out things to do and all that. And that was around the time when I was playing a lot of 2K. Mind you, actually, no. So I've always been a huge 2K and Madden guy. I want to say 2019, I played a lot more 2K than Madden. And it always changes year after year. It really depends on what mood I'm in. But, yeah, the pandemic, I kind of really quit Madden 20. And then when the pandemic came and we were all shut down, I kind of just got back into Ultimate Team. So I played a lot of Ultimate Team, played a lot of 2K, May, June, July, pretty much from March all the way till, when things were opening up a little bit around the end of 2020. And then it was around that time it came in my head that I am pretty good at both games. Kind of wanted to see where the content side would go. I had the equipment for it. I bought the equipment a long time ago. I just never used it. I've always had an Elgato. I've always had this and that. So I've always had the equipment for it, but I've never really put it into fruition. So then we were like, you know what? F it. Let's just do it. I tried it out. Was never super committed to it. And then I want to say early last year, actually around this time, March, April, I was like, you know what? Like, you can't not see it through. So started doing it a lot more. More mainly YouTube than Twitch. I never really saw myself being more of a streamer, but now I come to find out, I actually really love Twitch streaming more than YouTube. So yeah, that's the origin story, I guess.
All right, then that's a good origin story. Yeah. I actually started. I started with trying my hand at YouTube first as well. I started in late 2014, early 2015.
Nice.
And I didn't know how much easier it would be to be Twitch affiliated than a YouTube partner. Mm-hmm. And I found out after I was affiliated on the main account after just 7 days, and then that first couple months I was streaming, I was on almost every day. And then a bunch of things started happening that summer that completely messed up my ability to stream. And then sometime last year, there was actually a month that I streamed, I think, 21 out of like 30 days or something like that. And then since then, it's been a little off and on, and this month I'm kind of trying to get on to that way I was when I first started, which was in April 2020. It was about a week after I had started watching Fendler's streams. I decided to go ahead and try my hand at it, and that's basically how my stream started. About April 17th, it would be more or less a 2-year anniversary for me. Though I haven't streamed for all of that time, it's still a milestone I'll celebrate. And even though I'll have to celebrate on a separate account, everyone knows I've been streaming since April. So.
Yeah, that's a little rough, man. I'm sorry that you had to go through that. I want to see if I can find out a way for you to link your other PSN account, because you obviously had much more of a following back then, back in that one.
Yeah, I think it's at like 1K with 1,079 or something like that. And when I had all that growth during that 20-day span when I was streaming, and I'm like, okay, I can run with this. And then I ran into that brick wall in about November of this past year. And that kind of made me have to start from scratch. And this will actually be the second time I had to start from scratch on a Twitch account. So.
Well, I'm glad you're still persistent with it. That's awesome, bro. That's awesome to see.
But that plan for.
I might not be back on the Twitch streets.
What's Savage Coyote? How you doing, man? But yeah, to me, it's never, as everyone knows about me by this point, it's never been about what I could get from streaming, more so what I can give with my streaming.
That's awesome, yeah. I mean, when it comes to one of the more, not even like monetary-wise, like just generous, caring people in the community, you always come top of mind for me. I'm not gonna lie to you. Even in my own streams, my own personal streams, whenever you come through, I was like, hey, it's Get Couch, I appreciate it. You always have something to say about the Chargers, and we all go back and forth a little bit, and then, go on about our day. But those little moments, man.
Yeah, the thing I like is, I never got into this to be that guy that name is kind of just with a lot of people, and rather I've already been to their streams or when I first pop in. The one thing that's came out of it that I have enjoyed, like I said, I never wanted it to be like, oh, this guy, he's known for this and this, but I like what I'm known for, and I like the fact that just coming into chat is enough to make someone happy and excited and make them continue to go on, or whatever the case may be. It's definitely something that I never expected, but I'm glad happened.
That's good, yeah. But you fostered that yourself, right?
That was kind of built just out of me being me. That was just how it was built, and it's something that I occasionally make the joke that, thrones are mine in certain chat rooms and all that stuff, but in all actuality, it doesn't matter to me if I'm at the top of somebody's gifteds or not or anything like that. I just like to see people thrive. Like I said to Fendler, anytime he says it was because of luck or whatever, I make sure he knows that people don't show up for luck. They show up for the person behind the camera. I could be the best Madden streamer on the planet, but I don't feel like my personality would keep enough people, like 70-plus people in there constantly like he can. And
That's very fair, yeah.
I think I can probably hold a crowd of about a dozen, honestly. Like, if I was truly honest about my ability, I think I can hold a dozen people if I ever get that many people in at once, And
well,
that's...
never underestimate yourself. You never know where this thing goes, right?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I just mentioned one thing I'd never expected to come out of it.
Yeah.
And that's happened, but I try to be kind of realistic with where I want my goals to be. And if you look back at, obviously you can't look back on my accounts now because the Twitter account I had before also I cannot get into now. But luckily the one I'm on now is one I was able to build up rather quick with the followers from the other one, so I didn't really lose anything.
I'll challenge you on that. What do you mean being realistic?
Being realistic, I feel like a lot of people, not so much in this community, just people in general, they tend to aim very high, uncharacteristically high, because they see what others can do and they try to aim for that same goal. And that's just like, for example, I'm not going to aim to be a Twitch partner because I just frankly don't think I'm good enough to be one. But what
I just want to challenge you on that mindset. Do you think that's just, why do you think you're not good enough to be a Twitch partner, though?
Well, first off, simply put, I just don't, obviously gameplay is not a big deal to most people, but I don't really think that with what I pick game-wise, there's not that many people that are like that, for one, and I'm a variety streamer, so I always switch things around anyways.
Okay.
And that cripples me a little bit, but that's the type of streamer I chose to be. But the other thing is, like, some people come in for the super cool setups and the alerts and all that stuff, and I don't have any of that. So,
yeah,
I feel like that hurts
that.
a bit too.
With time comes it, right? Time
yeah,
comes
with
everything, so you never know.
Yeah, but you know, like I said, I just try to be realistic. I don't try to aim too high. I don't try to make it to where my goal's too unachievable. Trust me, the life I've had, if anybody could ever, like, interview me so they can hear, like, just more about the past me, a lot of people would understand why hope isn't exactly something I have a lot of.
Hey, I can understand it, but, hey, don't ever lose hope, man. Sometimes it's the only thing you have.
But yeah, that's why, like...
Not to sound so philosophical about it, or even just
yeah.
cliche in general, sometimes it is, you know?
But that's like, my goal this month is to stream for at least 25 or 23 or so days out of the month. The plan is to just hit affiliate on this account. And
nice.
All the emote slots besides the first one, because the first one's always the one I just pick because it's who I am. You know, it's the main theme throughout my accounts is the first one kind of is the main thing, and then the other four are just subplot type deals. And if I can hit the mark where I can get those 50 subscribers in a short amount of time, what I'm trying to do is all 4 of the other emotes are going to be completely up to the chat of what those will be, with some obvious restrictions will apply, but I'm going to try to let like the chat decide a lot of the emotes, and I typically don't really care what type of emotes I have other than like the main one. I try to just make sure they're fun, you know.
So I guess so let's step away from that term. I don't like that term realistic, because I feel like even for me as a child, you know, you always get told, you know, you gotta be realistic about things, or realistic about where you want your life to be. But with that being said, it does seem like you have tangible goals that you want to achieve this upcoming month, and I definitely think you can achieve them. So instead of saying let's be realistic, let's say we have tangible goals that we want to achieve, and that's going to help us get better.
Okay, how does logical sound?
Yes, logical sounds a lot better than realistic. I just don't like that word, be realistic.
Yeah, that's fair.
I hate that. You know what I mean?
Yes, but people have those words they don't like, and I definitely agree there are some words I don't like that streamers use too. Yes. Like, I just brought one up. I don't like Fen saying it's all luck, because it's not.
Yeah, I mean, luck is...
Luck is part of it.
What do they say about luck? It's the in-between opportunity and being prepared, or something like that?
Exactly. I think that's what it is, but that's like your thing with me saying realistic. That's the same thing with me when Fen says it's luck. It's... No streamer gets anywhere by sheer luck. There's a lot of stuff that has to go their way, and there's a lot of stuff they have to work for. So, like...
Sure. I agree with it.
I love seeing the... Side note here. I love seeing the partners that are starting to pop up. Like, we all know Luch is about to hit it. We know he is.
Oh, fingers crossed. I would love for Luch to go hit it.
Goat Geezy's right behind him.
His house the day he hits it, and just give him a big fat kiss and a hug.
Goat Geezy's right behind him too, so that's cool.
Yeah, hopefully Geezy gets it soon. It's interesting. This is my second year on Twitch. Technically, it's so cool to see the second round of people getting partnered. You know what I mean? I think last year we had Adam and all that, and now Luch, Geezy. I'm like, yo, that's.
And the fact that it's happening
so cool.
super early on in the year, like the first 3 months, means there's room for even more people to get that. And
of course, yeah, man.
That's what my yearly goals has nothing to do with me. It's more helping others reach the goals they're wanting to reach, because I feel like that's a better use of who I am, because I've never been a selfish person. That's just never been me. And I have a couple, you know, obviously more goals that are mine, like the goals I just shared, and you know, I want to hit a certain number on like YouTube and stuff like that. But I'd say if I had a list of 7 goals I want to hit, 5 of those 7s have to do with different streamers that are not me.
That's very generous of you.
Hold on 1 second. Okay. But yeah, I definitely feel like there's goals that all of us want to achieve, no matter how high the goal might seem at the time. And who knows? Maybe I'll aim for that partnership mark at some point. But right now, you got to do intermediate. You got to do small and intermediate goals before you hit those big goals.
Yeah. Did you see that Just see that quarterback do some rules. I don't know what he did. That was crazy.
On the game?
Yeah.
I think I noticed the tail end of what he was doing. This is actually a rookie quarterback too, from an auto-generated class. So.
Really? He's got some stick. Not gonna lie.
It almost seems like Johnny Madden in quarterback form, doesn't it?
Yeah, at least college version.
Oh, that was a good strike there. That was definitely a good pass and catch there. Very enjoyable. But yeah, I have a secondary thing on TikTok that I'm doing. It's another relocation, and it's
Wait, another relocation. You have to make another account.
No, it's I'm talking about the franchise being relocated.
The franchise, okay.
Yeah. On the TikTok one, I actually relocated the Giants to Dublin to become the Celtic Tigers.
Celtic Tigers, I love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
I'm thankful for just the talking about football and stuff with more people that have similar interests. Biggest W of getting involved. Yeah, I can agree with that.
Definitely, Ammo. I agree with that.
And we're going to be talking football very, very soon. Right now we're kind of talking football because we were just chatting about what was going on in the game, but we're going to talk more about football here in a little bit. But speaking on goals, I just gave you my goals. What are your goals exactly?
Shit, so we're talking about logical goals, right?
Yeah,
right now, my goal
achievable
is
goals.
content.
Achievable goals in a short or intermediate term is the goals I'm talking about.
So short term, try to get back into streaming. So I don't know if you know, but just started a new position at a pretty big company. This is my real life splash talking, right? So
yeah,
started a really big position at a pretty big company. So I'm just grinding mad hours, really trying to get the work process of a day-to-day down so that I feel super comfortable about it. I can just fly through it for the rest of my tenure. This way the role goes is you pretty much get promoted every year. So, I want to make sure my performance is the best, and as capable, and that I can be as capable as possible month in, month out. So I know that for me, the first few months of this role is super important, so that the rest of it, by the end of the year, I feel really comfortable, and it's like second nature to me. So that's been me. I've been working, I want to say like 50 to 60 hours every single week, just grinding, taking hours outside of work to make sure that everything is good for my 9 to 5 in between those hours.
All right, makes sense.
And then we just got a puppy. We just got a little cockapoo, literally, I want to say 3-4 weeks ago. He's a handful. He's a lot of work. He's really, really adorable. Love him, but he is a heck of a lot of work. So when I'm not working, my time is, spent with him, trying to train him, make sure that I can give my girlfriend a break when she needs to, because she needs to.
Yeah, having a dog's quite a handful for sure.
Just work, puppy, and I've also just been working on my physical health. Like me, we finally have gyms open up again, so been going to the gym every single day. Well, at least 4 or 5 times a week, just to work on my physical health, because I did used to be an athlete, and now COVID made me mad pudgy and stuff, and I don't like it anymore. So I decided, this year's the year where we stop being pudgy and we try to get that body back up.
Funny story. You just brought up your physique, how it's changed. Like when I first saw you, I think it was on October when you were with Luch, and there was actually more than just your head on screen. It's like, there's no way that's Super Splash. No way. I thought that was part of your costume, like you taped like some, fake ab on you or something like that to fit a character you were being or something. I legitimately thought that was a costume.
No, that was a costume. It was a costume.
Okay, so that time it was a costume. You didn't get that big. Part of it was a costume. Okay.
But I want to say, give me 6 months. That'll be normal.
that'll be normal. That'll be Super Splash Sploosh.
Super Swole Bro. I don't know.
Super Swole Bros.
No, but that definitely one of my biggest priorities this year is one, to move up in my company that I've been waiting for a long time, that I've had my eye on for a couple years, and I'm happy I'm at that position now. And now the second thing is my physique. Always struggled with, I'm not a big guy, but I've always struggled with my physique and my, self-confidence in that aspect. Used to be an athlete, so, when I was working out all the time, doing 2-a-days and all that stuff, it wasn't a worry for me. But then after, I feel like every athlete that I talk to, after they stop playing and stop their playing years, they kind of just like dwindle down. They start eating like shit. Their metabolism slows down, so they just become pudgy. And that's kind of what happened to me. So, like, the past 3-4 years, I want to say I've just been treating my body like shit. So
yeah.
I want to get back into that routine of working out every day, making sure my physical health is good. And also, with that being said, when you have your physical health and you're working out and you're exercising, you're giving your brain endorphins that it doesn't know that it needs. Your mental also gets a lot better. So, if anyone is really stationary Monday to Friday, I super recommend getting out there, even going for a walk or whatever. But we're talking about streaming and we're talking about content creation, so that was a little sidetracked. So right now, my short-term goals, because I'm doing all that stuff, I want to get back into a consistent schedule in streaming. I want to get back into consistent content creation, YouTube, TikTok, all that stuff. But it is hard. It is hard managing all that time, right? So for the foreseeable future, I don't know when I'm going to be back into streaming. It might be a month. It might be Madden 23. We'll see where it goes. But I'm really enjoying working on myself, working on my IRL stuff. And, for a little bit, the content creation stuff is on pause. But there's no doubt in my mind that we'll get back into it eventually. Long-term goals, I want to make this like a second income of mine for sure. I want to make this like something that I can grind in 20 to 30 hours, whether that be YouTube, maybe not 30 hours, but at least 20, 25 hours a week, whether that be the YouTube, the TikTok, the Twitch, and make it a second income, make it something that I truly love. Even in the small community that we've built, I feel like we've grown a real tight-knit community, and it breaks my heart that I haven't talked to them or seen them in a long time, but I know that they're there. They know that I'll be back soon enough. So that's my long-term goal. Do I ever see myself being like a full-time content creator? Probably not. Just because I do love my work, I do love the industry that I'm in. I'm in sales, so it's kind of like I'm talking to people all day. It's kind of like I'm streaming a little bit because I'm talking to people all day. But but yeah, I love it. And I don't know if I'll ever leave that corporate type of lifestyle for sure.
That's those are actually some really good goals in both in all three phases there. So the thing with communities too that I've noticed is we have obviously the large community,
yes,
which is like, oh, Emma just said something. Splash, you'll be okay. I was into streaming and had to.
Of course, Emma,
yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, that's true. Like I last streamed before I started streaming again on the 1st of this month. I was off the streaming off streaming for about 2.5 months, and
yeah, I mean, we've been on a little hiatus before. I was going through some stuff in the fall. I think I didn't stream for a month, and then the next month we hit hard. We grinded, I think, like 25 or 26 out of 30 days, and the community was back up and running in like a month. So I'm not worried about it. But I do miss it. I'm not gonna lie to you when I tell you, like, I do miss coming to see you guys all the time. It's just that, for example, for UK Couch, I mean, you're the one that had to reschedule a little bit, but, like, for example, for me, I was scared that I had to reschedule because there's days where I won't leave my desk until 7. You know what I mean? So I was making sure that I had to, get everything done before this podcast because I didn't want to flake you for sure, right? But at the end of the day, as I'm trying to say, is like sometimes I don't leave my desk till I'll be locked in at 7 o'clock, and then I won't leave it till 7 at night. So, yeah, the job that I'm in is like, it's a lot of hard work, but I know it's going to pay off later. Yeah. So the community's going to be there. That's what, long story short.
I mean, I've seen, like, myself for a while wasn't streaming, and the support has kind of come back pretty quickly since then.
Exactly.
Silent Ninja was out for like 6-7 months, and everyone came back as soon as he was booting back up again. So that's the thing about these communities too. You could be gone for 6, 7, 8 months. They still remember who you are. They still know that you're a streamer, and when they see you boot back up, they'll immediately jump in because they've missed being in that chat room.
I haven't been around these Twitch streets a lot, but even when I pop my head in from time to time, it's like people remember you, people reminisce, people miss you. So it feels rewarding a little bit, but it also breaks my heart that I can't be as involved as I used to be. You know what I mean?
Oh, trust me, I was like that too for those times when I couldn't stream. It was hard to think that, these guys still remember who I am, and then, like, for 2-3 months straight, I'd be trying to figure out a time I can go live, and then I'd say I would, and then shit would come up, so I can't. And so sometimes
it's like we were all viewers first, and we all became friends before people ever wanted to venture off and to do a stream. Maybe it was different for some people. Maybe they started to do streaming first and then became friends and viewers. But at the end of the day, for me personally, I was always a viewer before I started becoming a streamer. I always wanted to learn before I started to do it for myself. I think that might be the case with you, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I always wanted to do some type of content creation. Obviously, it was YouTube before, and then it shifted to Twitch when I was seeing, like, some of the bigger names streaming and seeing that how many cool interactions you could have and all that type of stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
What really solidified me to do it, though, was just people like Fendler, Up and Adam, Retro Yimmy, Maze GC. There's a lot of people in the Madden community specifically that when I first started, and it'll take me, like, with Fendler, I jumped into his chat and I followed him, and then it only took me about a day or two before I said, oh yeah, I'm definitely going to sub to this guy. And in about 9 days now, basically, in 9 days it would be 23 months since I decided to first hit that sub button, so.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, we all are impacted by somebody's stream, and maybe, I mean, even for me, like, you don't ever go into Twitch and be like, alright, so I'm gonna just start streaming, right? Like, you are either going to whatever direction that you want. For me, I didn't even watch Madden YouTube up until, I lied, I always would watch Gut Fox, but I didn't watch anybody else up until, I want to say, last year. Like, I was a plebe, man. I was plebing in these Twitch streets. I didn't even know what the badges were besides your name. I was like, dog, like, I don't have any inkling of a clue. I was really solely watching for the gameplay, or, if Gut Fox said it was like a promo day, I would watch for the card or whatever, but I really did not know anything about Twitch. I didn't know any rules of engagement with Twitch. I didn't know how to say hi in a chat, whatever. But I guess that all just came slowly. Yeah, it came slowly. In the Madden community, the two people that I looked into were True Flocka, because I saw him on TikTok first, and then Fend. And then, it just went from there.
Yeah, when you're able to, when a streamer is able to connect to you on the level where they indirectly or directly, like, make you become a regular in their chats, or even just, like, in my case, people that got me into streaming were the people I mentioned, and if you're able to do that with anybody in your chat, then that makes you a extraordinary an extraordinary streamer,
it's a
very
skill to have.
a very diamond in the rough type of streamer. Because streamers could have 1.7k people in their chats or whatever, but they're just there to chat, and some of them might get motivated by you to go ahead and start streaming or whatever, but I feel like if you're able to get people to want to do it, even if they might doubt themselves at first, if you're able to get them to take that leap, that means you motivated them because of the success they saw you were having.
No, for sure. I mean, it's not even based off that, though, right? Like,
yeah, it's more than that for a lot of us,
yeah,
obviously.
Of course. I don't even know what really motivated me to start streaming, to be honest. I guess it was just another avenue of content creation that I wanted to venture off into. Because as I said, like, I solely always just saw myself doing YouTube. I'll be honest. But I've slowly, like, gone away from YouTube more so and want to become more of a Twitch streamer. Like, I do enjoy Twitch a lot more than YouTube nowadays.
Yeah, like, I have my YouTubers I watch all the time. Like, the Madden guys I'd watch a lot would be like, Bengal, Jerome PK, or C4, Mr. Hurricane. I'd watch a lot of these Madden YouTubers. And Mr. Hurricane's actually where I got this watching the things while we're podcasting. Because one of the series was just watching the games and, simulating through other ones. And I wanted to incorporate that somehow.
Game, if I might add, 6-3, eh? Looks like we're going to come out here with a W, though.
And against the Jets? Nani?
Yeah, against the Jets.
Yeah, if they make this, then it's going to be pretty tough for the Jets to come back with no timeouts.
I agree.
And we did make it.
See what Zach Wilson can do.
All right, Zach. Touchdown or nothing here, bud. Let's see if you end up doing it.
Twitch has slowly, it just become, I don't know, I never thought I would consider people, never thought I had internet friends, you know what I mean? Like, that's something I never, if you told me 2 years ago that I would have internet friends and people that I check up on, people that I want to see in real life, people that can check up on me, like, on a day-to-day or a monthly or whatever, like, somebody that, for example, you even, like, you message me from time to time, just check up on each other. It's like, I never thought I would have that. That's so cool to me. It's so cool to me, especially in a day and age where I think we kind of need it, We kind of need a variety of friends. You have your IRL friends, you have your online friends. You need friends from all different types of perspectives and all different types of experiences, all different, and even around the world, I want to say, too.
As a human being in general, you need that human interaction.
Yeah. No, and that's what brought us, I think. I mean, I started around 2021, but I know for a lot of you guys started in 2020 because you needed that human interaction because we were all at home, right?
There's a deeper meaning behind why I started.
Okay.
And I mentioned it in my interview with Craigie at one point, as well as I think one other one before that.
Yeah.
April 10th, the woman that adopted me, the person who became my mom for 10 years or so, she passed away abruptly. And the story behind that was, we had dinner, right? Normal, we were having spaghetti that night. It was her, her spaghetti, she'd make it all the time. And at one point she was unable to breathe, so they took her to the hospital. And we got a call at one point saying she'd be fine, and a few hours later they said she was gone. So that same day, 2 hours later, I downloaded the Twitch app because I wanted to try to find something to do. And Fendler's chat was there, hopped in, and I chose to go in to find a secondary family outside my physical one, and that's what I was able to find even up till now. Nearly 23 months later, I haven't had my mind changed, and I haven't regretted a second of being around such the people I've had the honor to be around.
I am sorry to hear that, though, man. That's like that's a rough situation. I'm sorry you had to go through that, and man, that hit hard, for sure.
And amongst the people that I have had the honor and I've continued to like to keep track of, I like knowing what's going on with Fenn because him being the biggest motivator to most of us, it's something that I definitely need to keep tabs on. Retro Yimmy, Murphy, Luch, Adam, and then obviously you mentioned it earlier, you're on that list. I try to keep track of what you're doing.
Of course, I appreciate it.
And, I let everyone know. My DMs are always open. I always make sure I'm in some chats before. Like, if I'm working, I go in before work. I go in during my break. I go in after work. I make sure I'm still a contributor.
You are a member of the people that you just mentioned. By the way. Like, yeah. You're a solidified member of all those communities. And that's an impressive feat on its own, for sure, sir. Like, I tried doing that myself, and I realized, like, I can't even, it's hard to keep up sometimes, but the way you do it, man, it is plausible, like, plausible? No, I don't even know if that's a word.
It's possible to happen.
But, no, I applaud you, man. That's what I'm trying to say.
So that was a thrilling game there, 9-3 win for our team there.
Oh my gosh. What do you think Calvin really bet on that?
He probably bet like $80 that it would be like a 17-point game or some shit. On paper, it probably should have been, but Madden's Madden. It does what it wants.
Hey, we're 1-0 so far in the stream. I'll take it.
Ooh, we got the Eagles next. That should be pretty easy depending on who they have.
I'll take it. Let's go.
Did they replace Jalen Hurts, though? That's the question. They always do that in Madden. They always put, like, Colin Kaepernick or some weird shit like that as their quarterback, and it's like, I don't want to see... Nobody wants to see Colin Kaepernick, okay? If you say you do, you're a liar. Nobody wants to see Colin Kaepernick. Come on now.
But why would they trade away Jalen Hurts?
I don't know if they trade him away, per se. But they definitely don't let him start. In terms of why, who knows? Okay, Jalen's still a starter on this one. Good, because he should be.
He needs to get some burn.
As he should be the starter, goddammit.
Who, Gardner Minshew?
No, Jalen.
Oh.
Minshew could be a starter somewhere, I believe, though.
I think so, too. Or, like a Teddy Bridgewater role.
I honestly think if the Jags didn't decide to blow everything up like a year or two early and make their team absolute dog shit, I do believe Gardner Minshew would still be the starter right now. Because he actually did a very good job, considering he didn't have any weapons.
The hype that Trevor Lawrence... Oh my god, I can't speak today. The hype that Trevor Lawrence brought was warranted. People think that he had a bad rookie season, but, we have come to find out that there's been a lot of things going on behind the scenes, and I don't blame him. And even with all the things, he still had everything that was going on in that organization, he still had a decent season for a rookie.
I will say this.
With all that being said, yeah.
I will say this. For those people who thought Trevor Lawrence would just come in and break all Justin Herbert's record, fuck you. That's all I'm going to say. You said he was going to break every single one of Justin Herbert's records, but now look at you.
Well, also people thought that Jacksonville team was going to be a lot better than what it was.
I could tell you from a mile away that a quarterback, a tight end that was a quarterback before, and a college coach making his first year start wasn't going to be a recipe for success. I could have told you that.
No, but they had a really good defense. Their O-line was getting better. They had the quarterback. They had Travis Etienne, which obviously got injured. They had their running back trio or duo or whatever it was. I think they had not Carlos Hyde, but they had the other guy, right? What's his name?
James Robinson. James Robinson's the guy.
Anyways, they had all those. They had Laviska Shenault was supposed to take a step up. They just got Marvin Jones. I could understand it. I could understand they were probably.
I understand the enthusiasm.
Maybe a 7-8 win team.
I understand the enthusiasm of it for sure. I get the believing in something that maybe not everyone believes in. I'm a Chargers fan. Nobody really believes in Justin Herbert when he first came in. Look at what happened. But I said it, and I can probably find the link to the video where I said it. I said that he would take over by week 3 after bad performances by Tyrod Taylor. I was half right.
It wasn't even a bad performance.
I was half right.
Injured, but
he did take over for him, but not because he played bad.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, his situation, Tyrod Taylor's, is kind of sad in that sense, but at the end of the day, what's meant to be is meant to be, and Justin Herbert was clearly... he was better than Tyrod Taylor at that point, for sure. He came in guns a-blazing, and nobody even saw it coming. I don't think anybody, even the expectation that people, there was a lot of people saying that, he could have been a star or whatever. There was no way people expected him to come in, he was told he was going to start, 10 minutes before the game?
It was literally just before kickoff. Anthony Lynn was like, oh yeah, by the way, you're starting.
Exactly.
It was so out of nowhere.
Did they win that game too?
No, they took the Chiefs to overtime, though.
That's nuts. That's craziness to me.
And consider this for a second, right? Justin Herbert has taken Patrick Mahomes to overtime twice.
Yeah, I mean...
And beat him really once. And it didn't go to overtime that time.
I don't know. I want to see him in the playoff series for sure.
I do believe...
Yeah, Ammo, I do think a little bit, but, we'll let Couch slide a little bit.
I mean, Ammo, if you're going to call me biased, you got to call CJ biased, too, with his Mac Jones stuff. You got... Even though you're a fellow Pats fan, even you have to admit, he's a little overbearing on that. A little bit.
Pats fans love Mac Jones, too. But they see it. They really think he's the second coming of Tom Brady.
I mean, they're seeing in Mac Jones what I saw in Justin Herbert when we drafted him. He's going to be the future of our franchise. That's what he's going to be. And obviously there wasn't a lot of people that were with me on that boat, but I'm glad to see that people have seen his talent and realize how good of a player he actually is.
No, Herbert's really good, man. He's really good. Like, at least... I want to see he's like a top 6, top 7 quarterback.
Here's what I say. I say basically if you take out, say, Aaron Rodgers and you did it based on age group, basically if Aaron Rodgers didn't exist, he would be a top 5 quarterback. But Aaron Rodgers does exist, so he's like 6 or 7.
Three quarterbacks that I would want to start my franchise with at this point. It would be Herbert. Like, it doesn't matter. It's like thinking of Pokemon. It wouldn't matter who it was. Like, give me Patrick Mahomes, give me Herbert, or give me Joe Burrow. I'll be happy with any 3 of those guys. Like,
absolutely.
Those guys, yeah, they have the F factor, man. They're going to be good.
Okay, I had this argument with people yesterday, Ammo. I was hyped because we had a hat year with Cam. Okay.
I was hyped because we had that year of Cam. I don't even think so. I mean.
Okay. Here's my problem with people who stand Mac Jones like heavily, right? They talk about how good his year was this year, right? Give Herbert Bill Belichick and that defense, and tell me he doesn't make the playoffs every year.
But
he had Anthony Lynn.
Is Herbert the same person in that system?
He's better than Mac Jones in that system, in my opinion.
No, if you have Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, and Austin Eckler compared to wherever the freak that they had in New York.
Let me counter that point with this. Led the league in dropped passes.
Who, Herbert or Mac Jones?
No, as in the passes that Herbert threw to those exact people you mentioned were the league leaders in dropping passes. League leaders.
Were they? I didn't know that. But
because people use his weapons, well, if his weapons don't catch the ball, it doesn't do him any good, does it?
Yes, but I'm just saying, like, his weapons are better than the Patriots' weapons for sure. There's no doubt about that.
I'm very glad Ammo actually said that defense is overrated, because that at least proves there's a couple Pats fans that can say that is overrated.
I don't think it's overrated. I think that defense is good.
Here's my other thing with Mac Jones, right? He's the first quarterback since Tim fucking Tebow to throw less than 5 passes and still win a game.
It was one game.
But that's the thing, like, Herbert had an MVP season except for that one game. That, if people can use that argument with MVP things, they can use that argument with any player, with any situation.
Oh, I get it. I'm just saying it was one game, and people were obviously, I was on the fence, like, bro, can this guy even throw anything more than 5 yards? But
and let me make this clear.
That was kind of the point that I was trying to say. It's like,
I don't actually have anything against Mac Jones, like himself. I think he's a cool player. I think he's fun to watch, on occasion. I'm just saying that if you're going to base it off of his performance, you have to also base it off of his surrounding factors. If you want to use Keenan and Mike as a factor as to why Herbert's so good, well, Bill Belichick's your coach.
No, I wasn't even saying. No. Listen. I wasn't even saying.
I hear what you're saying. I get that.
Herbert was the reason. I mean, Keenan Allen and Mike Williams are the reason that Justin Herbert was good. I was saying their systems are totally different. Like, I'm not so sure that just because you put Justin Herbert on the Patriots that his numbers are going to be significantly better than Mac Jones. Maybe, like, I want to say, like, maybe 500 yards is still a lot, but keep in mind, like, the person that runs the offense is Josh McDaniels. Is he still there? No, he got the Raiders.
He went to the Raiders. Or as I like to call them, the Faders.
But point being is, it's always been a system offense, even when Tom Brady was there, right? It's always been a system offense.
Yeah, I get that, but you get what I'm saying, though. If you're going to use one thing for one person, you can't ignore the tools that Mac Jones has, too.
Oh, I don't doubt that if Herbert was on the Patriots, that...
Oh, no, I'm not saying he'd have exactly the same numbers as he has or anything like that. I'm saying that he could probably still succeed in even, rather it be that system or the Charger system. I think he'll still succeed either way.
Well, regardless, I just think he's a really good quarterback.
But with Mac Jones, before we move on to another topic, with Mac Jones, I feel like he is going to be a really good quarterback. I don't think he's going to be the second coming of Brady or anything like that yet. It's only one season.
Yeah.
Calm down. But I do believe he's going to be a good minimum mid-tier quarterback, like 15 to 10 range.
Yeah, I mean, that's the consensus right now. It's like the ceiling is not very high, but he's still going to get you there. He's going to get you to the playoffs. He'll probably get you to the playoffs as much as Patrick Mahomes does once, Kelsey and Tyreek Hill can't run like they do. You know what I mean? Like, they'll be fine.
But that's kind of what my main point is when I talk to other people about it, is they ignore the facts on one side, theirs most of the time, but always point out the facts on the other side.
Yeah.
And once again, Mac is a solid C. Okay, see, Ammo said it perfectly. C plus B type of quarterback. For now.
Right.
But the one thing that I will say is we all had the same thought about Josh Allen his first year. Or not all of us, but that was a general consensus.
Didn't turn up until last year.
Exactly. Well, last year and kind of the year before, but definitely this year.
Nothing crazy.
But come on, his first season, people didn't see why he was drafted. They didn't get it.
Of course.
And it's not the same as Mac Jones because people kind of see it. But with Josh Allen, they didn't see why he was drafted that high, why people thought he should be a quarterback at all in that specific team. And and I hope Mac Jones does it. I honestly do. I hope he proves us wrong like Josh Allen, Justin Herbert, and a few others have during the last couple seasons.
Yeah.
But time will tell.
No, exactly. Time will tell for sure. You base off, think about it. People were saying, now people are coming for Baker's neck, but people were saying that, Baker deserved that first round pick. Because he had a really good, he actually had a pretty decent rookie season, right?
Yeah, he did. He had, I think it was 20, and Ammo can probably correct me. I think he had 22 touchdowns, and I think it was 13 or 14 picks, something along those lines.
Yeah.
That's pretty average. That's like above average, like rookie quarterback numbers. And any quarterback that can even just do the average is proving he deserves to have that shot.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day...
At the end of the day, I'll say the same thing I said about Herbert and Burrow, right? Because there's always going to be that comparison between the two.
Yeah, and they're in the same... And they're in the AFC
Herbert
as well,
and Burrow were drafted by the teams for exactly what they needed. For the Bengals, they need a quarterback they know would be around for at least the next decade, help lead their team that they could build around. That's what they got. Herbert was brought in, initially, obviously, as more of a project guy, but he had a bigger role than that, to eventually take over for the offense and lead the team, no matter how he leads it, as, that guy. And he did that as well.
yeah.
And Herbert, for being a soft-spoken, more quiet type of leader, he can motivate his team pretty easily, even when he doesn't get all, super hyped about things.
I think he needs to work on being a leader still, but he'll grow into it. I think he'll learn.
But that's I think the last 3 to 4 seasons, we've gotten some very fun-to-watch quarterbacks. And,
100%.
Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen.
Because every single team has a pretty freaking decent quarterback.
Josh Allen, Justin Herbert.
25 out of 32 teams right now have a viable quarterback that they can run with.
Exactly. I'm pretty sure a few of their teams that don't have one yet is the Jets, the Giants, the Lions. Obviously, Jared Goff isn't going to be their long-term answer there. They're stuck with him right now.
We'll see. I don't know what to think of it, man. I really don't. It seems like it's kind of over. At the end of the day, Sean Payton was a real glue to that organization. And it's going to be the same way ammo when Bill Belichick finally decides to hang it up. You're going to be anxious about it, right? I'm super anxious to see what's going to happen in the offseason. Now, if we get a roster, if all this cap space that we're trying to get rid of gets dumped and we can sign some guys, get Jameis back, or at least a viable quarterback that's not Taysom Hill, I'll be a little bit more optimistic about it. MT looks like he's back on track. He wants to come back. The offense is not going to be much different because they're going to have their same OC that they had for the past 13 years. Dennis Allen was, has solidified himself as a really good defensive coordinator in the league. His schemes are really solid. So at the end of the day, it's really dependent on. Yeah, I got to see the first couple of games.
Okay, here's my question to you. You being a Saints fan, you can give me a pretty good answer on this. Okay, so I pitched the idea to a group chat I was in for a Saints replacement quarterback, right?
Yeah.
Jameis could be the guy. He could not end up staying, though, at the same time, right? And Taysom Hill, obviously, is not the guy either.
No, he's definitely not the guy.
Ian Book, time will tell, but he needs to marinate behind somebody else. So I pitched the idea, would the Saints be willing to sign someone like a Marcus Mariota to lead that offense?
I think I've heard of, dude, and that's the thing about, as I said, about this whole quarterback stuff, right? There's thoughts of even, because Trubisky took a year off and he's, he had time to develop under Josh Allen, or, just watch game for a whole year. There's thoughts of him, people wanting to bring him in and have him as their starting quarterback. I wouldn't be opposed to Marcus Mariota, man. He's as I think you tried to mention this, but he's a better Taysom Hill.
He's a way better Taysom Hill, in my opinion.
Yeah, he's a better Taysom Hill for sure.
Because the thing is, with Taysom Hill, you could get a couple sparks, a few good throws here and there. Marcus Mariota, I think, with him leaving the Titans, I honestly see why in terms of stats, and a few of his games he didn't look too good. But I honestly think that he definitely deserves a starting job somewhere, and he's been behind Derek Carr. And I remember he played against us last season, and he filled in for Derek Carr. And I was more worried about what Mariota was doing than what Derek Carr was doing. Because that guy is two-dimensional. You know he can run the ball.
Hold on 1 second.
All right.
I just gotta get the puppy. 1 second. You hear him barking?
No.
Oh, you don't? Okay. Because I don't want him to bark while we're talking, so I'm just gonna pick him up. There we go. He's going crazy.
Makes sense. Oh, by the way, another thrilling game going on here. Look how thrilling this is. Very, very fun. Yes.
You hear him? Okay, he's on my lap now. We're good. Sorry, you were saying the Derek Carr, Marcus Mariota situation?
The Derek Carr, Marcus Mariota situation, I honestly think Mariota is more of a threat when you play him than Derek Carr is. Because Mariota...
No, Derek Carr's a really good quarterback, though.
No, let me explain. Mariota, I believe, still has the arm talent to be a starting quarterback. He has the decision-making to be a starting quarterback. And he has...
got him out of a job, his decision-making.
Well, he seemed to have gotten better on when we've seen him play for the Raiders.
How many games did he play? Honestly, I do not keep up with
I remember
Raiders.
him playing...
Honestly, for me, I'm a huge... Because my team is on the NFC side, I'll watch, Red Zone and all that, but when I'm looking at stats and scheduling and all that stuff, I'm more into the NFC because, I'm trying to get my Saints into the playoffs, or at least, hopefully in my head, I could do that. How many games did Mariota play? I didn't even know.
I know for a fact he played the game against us most of the way through. I think Derek Carr got injured that game halfway or about the end of the first quarter. He played the rest of those 3 quarters, and he stayed right behind us, and I think that was the game that they actually forced overtime, and that famous I was in Herbert moment came up. But Mariota, more or less, is the reason they stuck in that game. If they had any other backup quarterback playing, they would have lost, badly.
No, and I think he deserves a shot as a starter.
Where I would put him...
having Mariota, but I think honestly, if we can't get a big name, obviously, like Russ or A-Rod, which I don't obviously think is going to happen.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen either.
But I want to see Jameis running back another year.
Okay, because Jameis didn't play bad last season. He unfortunately had that injury that ended it. He did not look bad at all, though.
No, he didn't.
And
he was actually, as I said, man, we were 5-2 and first in the NFC South when he was there. So, hey.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take that anytime, especially when you realize, Jameis Winston versus Tom Brady, he loses 9 out of 10 of those normally in your mind anyways. But he led them to one of the wins partially. I think Trevor Siemian came in for that first one, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I mean, that was the sad part about it. He led a really good first drive and a second drive, and then he tears his ACL. Damn.
So, with me, honestly, with Mariota, I think he could go to one of 3 teams. Obviously, I brought up yours, which, if you can't get a big-name guy, and maybe if Jameis decides he wants to leave, then I think that would be a good landing spot for him, to be honest.
Yeah, and they'll get him at a budget price, because he hasn't really proven anything the past couple of years.
Second option...
Not a bad idea. I could be behind that train.
Second option, Giants.
The Giants, they're not moving off of DJ.
I know they're not moving off from DJ, but if you feel like he needs that competition, he needs that way to prove he deserves that starting position, bring in Mariota.
Yeah.
And if nothing else, say something like what happened this past season out where he missed 6-7 games. Mariota's capable of stepping in and maybe winning you a couple of those.
Yeah, no, for sure.
And then the third option for me, and this option I think is maybe one of the more likely options out of these, depending on where he specifically wants to go, just came up on this train, Carolina Panthers.
Yeah, Panthers would be a good option too, but I think I don't know. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of teams. There's free agency starting in.
Oh yeah, maybe the Vikings
too.
So maybe the Vikings too, Ammo. That's a good point.
Mariota to the Vikings.
Yeah, Kirk Cousins.
They're gonna move off Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins has, I think, one more year left before they have a chance to let him go.
Yeah.
But the same situation as DJ. If you want to light a fire under Kirk Cousins, make him play even better, put Mariota behind him.
I mean, hey man, if we look at Kirk Cousins' tenure with the Minnesota Vikings, like he's actually had a pretty good tenure with them.
He's been solid. I don't think you'd want to replace him outright, but
yeah, you don't want to replace him unless there's actually something definitively better. I don't think Mariota's that answer.
Yeah, I don't think so either, but I mean, Vikings might be a good option like next year or the year after when they actually have that option to get rid of Kirk Cousins. But right now, I think Mariota would want to go to a team where he has a good chance of starting. And also,
so there's 32 starting teams, right?
Also the Steelers. I forgot about that.
Yeah, Steelers could be an option.
Commanders.
I don't know what the Steelers are going to get.
Commanders are an option.
Commanders are desperate. They are desperate. I mean, was Taylor Heineke that bad for them, though?
He really wasn't that bad. He had a few bad games, but he didn't seem that bad when he was playing.
That was his first full year starting. Like, give him a break.
I mean, come on. You can't bench a guy who went toe-to-toe with Tom Brady in a wild card playoff matchup and nearly beat him and just, not give him another chance.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, I think 16 games it's come to a point in the league where 16
the NFL
games is a big enough sample size for these GMs and these owners to dictate if they
feel like
have it or not.
This is one of the things Madden gets correct. They say it in every franchise mode. The NFL moves fast, and when people draft players, they want them to start right now and prove that they deserve to be there. And that, one of the few lines in Madden that really rings true is that line right there. The NFL is fast, and they expect you to be ready.
Fast, man. Well, even if you think about, even in terms of rebuilding nowadays, it's so different.
Like, for example,
compared to any other league too, right?
All it would have taken was these past 2 years for Herbert to be average, below average. And they're like, oh, okay, well, this isn't our guy, and he could have ended up going to another team and being, rejuvenated there.
The thing about the NFL, and I think that's why it makes it so exciting, is every single year through the draft, you are good for at least maybe 3-4 starters minimum.
Definitely.
Younger teams, sometimes you might see 6, 7, 8 new starters on the team, right?
Absolutely.
So once you start hitting some draft picks, you get them on rookie contracts, you're able to get the pieces that you need in free agency, you bring them on, and there you go, you have a really solid playoff team. And because it's the NFL, any given Sunday, you game plan correctly, a couple things go your way, and there you go, you're in a Eastern Conference AFC Finals against the Chiefs, right?
Yeah, I said that last stream. The Bills, I believe, have the best structure on how you want to go about a rebuild.
They had a really good rebuild,
because what they did was they got their cornerstones, the people that will be there for a decade plus, right? They got them in the draft. And then they just brought in aged free agents that might have something to prove on a new team. They brought those guys in, and come on, Micah Hyde. There's just one example.
They brought in Diggs, for example, a real good veteran presence.
Brought in Cole Beasley for a couple seasons.
Yeah.
He's still there, I believe.
Him, I think, so.
Okay, so they just released him, but he was there last year.
Yeah,
but they bring in these free agents.
Solid teammate.
You bring in these free agents that can still play, and a lot of them have something to prove. And when you put them on a team where everybody knows they have something to prove, and they mesh well together, look at the Bills, and that's what you get from it. I mean, if you said 4 years ago the Bills and the Chiefs would have arguably the best playoff game to ever be seen, people would look at you like you were crazy.
Remember when the Bills were going, what was it, 9-2 6 against the Jags or something like that. Something crazy.
Yeah, that was one of the most shocking, I think, games of the season because the Bills were absolutely flattening people at that point. And then all of a sudden Jacksonville, shambles team, just goes in and just absolutely bodies that offense.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you didn't lose that game, specifically that game, and I think they lost to the Titans too, if I remember correctly. If you didn't lose,
they were up 2 scores against the Titans, I think.
If you didn't lose both of those, you would have been the 1 seed.
They would have been home, yeah.
And then you would have been the one taking on the Bengals first. And then who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe that Chiefs traveling to your town doesn't work out well for them, like playing in theirs did. Those 2 losses, turn those to wins, and who knows who would have been in the Super Bowl on the AFC side.
No, the Bengals, I don't know.
The Bengals earned it, though. Don't get me wrong. The Bengals did earn it. But I'm saying imagine the difference that would have made. Now,
a totally different story for sure. And that's why people love the NFL, though.
Exactly.
Like,
any given Sunday.
It's game of inches, game of possessions, game of luck. There's luck involved in it. So, yeah, a lot of things that have to go right for somebody to win a Super Bowl.
Absolutely. It's not, like I said about streaming, it's the same thing here. It's not all luck. There's a lot more skill. There's a lot more strategy. There's a lot of stuff that goes into making a team that can make a run at that championship. And it's not always the most dominant teams that get there. 2010, 8-8 Green Bay. They got there.
Were they 8-8?
Yeah, I think they were 8-8.
No, I know they were the 6th seed. I don't think they were 8-8 though.
They were the 8-8 or 9-7. It was one or the other. They had a very subpar record that year, is what I remember. I thought it was 8-8, but I might be wrong.
Yeah.
The Giants have done it twice and beat the New England Patriots both times. So, any given Sunday, any given year, any given team, any given seeding. That's what's cool is every single one of those seeds this year, arguably both 7th seeds were basically fucked. But most of the time when you see the seeding arrangements, you're like, literally any of these people can make the Super Bowl right now.
But I think the competition has just gone
I mean, look at the AFC the last 2-3 seasons. There was no Herbert, there was no Burrow, there was Patrick Mahomes was there, obviously, but just not having those two alone. Add Lamar Jackson to that if you want to. Just not having a handful of those
playoffs. That's crazy to me.
And that's what made this year, I think, really fun. The entire NFL was just a bloodbath this year.
Yeah,
you could not predict a single fucking week all correct. No way.
Dude, I saw betting week 4 and 5. Last year, I made a good amount of money just betting because I knew which teams are most likely going to win. But this year, it was crazy. I really could not. I really, really could not.
And I mean, come on, it really rings true. And this was probably one of the seasons with the most overtime games ever.
It was, yeah.
And then you have probably some of the most points scored ever, probably in the top 5 or 6 of that. And then just
everything that could go wrong for an NFL team too, like the Browns, for example.
And the Ravens this year.
Contenders.
The Ravens this year, absolutely fucking bodied by injuries, and
it even seemed like even throughout, despite all those injuries,
it wasn't until Lamar went down that the team felt like it might not be able to do it.
Yeah.
But when Lamar went down, that's when I feel like that kind of sealed it.
Yeah, I mean, and
he still stayed in it. They still stayed in that race. But when he went down, he was gone for quite a few weeks, if I remember correctly.
He was. He only played 12 games.
And the fact that he missed 5 games, and with all those other injuries going on, and it came to the final week before they were eliminated, that team's like the Luch of the NFL. They have the most heart probably out of anybody. Except the Lions. The Lions might have sucked, but they had the most heart out of any team this year.
A lot of heart for sure.
Come on, most likely, They were all thinking they were going to get their asses kicked every game. Come on. They knew it. Yeah, they knew they were going to get their asses handed to them most weeks. But they fought like they were not going to lose that game no matter what.
Well, once you saw Baltimore with 3 running backs having ACL tears and Achilles tears, did you not think they were not going to make the playoffs? They still didn't know, right?
I don't remember what my thoughts were when they lost their running backs. I mean, yes, it's cliche. Lamar Jackson's a running back, okay? He's a running back too. But that wasn't my first thought. My first thought is all 3 running backs went down. First off, who were they going to sign to fill in those voids? I was actually surprised when Le'Veon Bell was one of the people they signed. But to me, it was like, anytime you have that many injuries, are you going to be this team that absolutely bombed with all those injuries? Or are you going to somehow be that one team, Indianapolis Colts a couple seasons ago, the last year Andrew Luck actually played? That was a team that was so destroyed by injuries, yet still made the playoffs. And Andrew Luck, I fucking miss that dude.
I do too.
He's like the Trevor Lawrence thing. He was compared to Trevor Lawrence. Or Trevor Lawrence was compared to him, a generational draft pick.
Yeah, I mean, there's rumors of him coming back.
I mean,
it's never going to happen.
Who knows? He might. He himself hasn't personally said anything. But I feel like if he had somehow reconnected with his...
That's going to be a warm of players, man. Like, just taking a year or 2 off from football, because it is taxing on your body year in, year out. You take a year or 2 off, you recover every single nagging injury that you have, you come back, especially as a quarterback, for example.
I mean, Andrew Luck
right now.
Andrew Luck, I believe, had...
even pay money for him. You know,
I think
they'll pay tons of money for him.
Andrew Luck was one of those quarterbacks that injuries is what definitely did him in when all was said and done.
Yeah.
Because he had, I think it was like, I counted at one point, I think it was like 13 to 15 injuries in like 2 or 3 years. And when you're sacked that much, and you get hit that much, and you get that many injuries, you're going to lose your passion to play. That's just the way it is.
The O-line was never that good either.
Huh?
Right. Their O-line was never that good because they got Quentin Nelly.
By the time they got Quentin Nelson, it was already too late. The damage was already done.
Yeah, exactly.
And for that, I don't know if you've ever watched Urinating Tree on YouTube. But I agree with him. If I had a chance to beat the living shit out of the owners of that team and have no consequences, I would. You just waste a generational player. The Colts.
Oh, the Colts?
They wasted a generational player. Like, the Chargers have wasted generational players before, but never that fast.
What about Phillip Rivers? No, I'm joking.
Phillip Rivers, LT, let Drew Brees go. I can probably name about like 20 dozen fucking people that I can think of off the top of my head that they wasted. They went to another team and just did absolutely fucking fantastic. Adrian Phillips, because of fucking Patriots. I hate you, Ammo. I don't actually hate you. I hate the Patriots, but that's beside the point. But yeah, that's all the former players, and I think you can even say this was true. A lot of our former players would like go to the fucking like Saints for whatever reason. Like it was, I noticed that a lot of our players did go to the Saints.
Like who?
Manti Te'o, Drew Brees, obviously.
Job.
Drew Brees, obviously.
Yeah, of course. Jared Cook, I guess. No, Jared Cook
went from
Saints.
From the
Saints to the Chargers.
Yeah, he went from the Saints to the Chargers. But I can't remember all of them off the top of my head because there's been quite a few of them. But those are the 2 standout ones. And obviously, I don't have to tell you how fucking important Drew Brees was to that city.
New Orleans, of course. I don't know what impact he had in San Diego, but to New Orleans, he is literally God.
He was definitely, like, in San Diego, I think if he didn't have that elbow injury, or shoulder injury, he probably wouldn't have ever left. And then that makes you wonder, what if Phillip Rivers went to the Saints instead? Would they have won that Super Bowl? Who knows?
I mean, I think Sean Payton would still be intrigued by that offer because you're playing with a really good quarterback, right?
Oh yeah, Rodney Harrison too. Forgot about him. He went to the Patriots though.
Yeah, he didn't go to the Saints. He went to the Patriots.
But you see what I mean? They go to teams and then they have all this success, and then everyone just forgets they were ever in San Diego. Like, they were.
San Diego. I'm sorry, man. It's the management's not that good.
I'm sorry, but I agree with that. I hate it.
The ownership is not that good, right?
The management be like, oh, we need a DT that can run stop during the trade deadline? Nah. Because letting people run for 100-plus yards most of your games is definitely a tactic to take if you want to win, right?
Well, it's just, I don't know what it is.
I don't get it.
I think they always just mess up contracts. Like,
what they need to do,
this
starting this year specifically, they need to hand personnel over to Staley and let him build the team he wants to build specifically on the defensive side of the ball. Because I feel like offensively...
He's offensive kind of guy, though, right? No.
Yeah, right now the Chargers, where they sit right now offensively, all they need is a backup halfback to take some of the workload off of Eckler.
I agree.
A right tackle, because Bulaga just hasn't been available, and frankly I think we're paying him just to not be available. And maybe, if you want to get nitpicky here and you let Jared Cook go, a solid tight end.
Well, he's old, so you do want to let him go or at least get somebody better.
Definitely.
That was just like a last resort option to get because you lost Hunter Henry, right?
Yeah, he went to the Patriots. Shocker. But Kwity Paye, by the way, is on this team too.
Kwity Paye, yeah.
He's pretty cool.
I mean, the team's solid, not gonna lie.
Yeah, and then on the defensive side, what we really need, another edge rusher so people can stop triple teaming Joey Bosa every play. And
lost Melvin Ingram too.
And get one more corner, because I think Asante Samuel can cover the slot. I think Kaiser White can handle... No, not Kaiser. What's the fucker's name? It's not Kaiser. Michael Davis. Michael Davis can cover one side, get a solid corner on the other side, even a serviceable corner on the other side that isn't Chris Harris. Then
why has he been getting burnt?
Chris Harris has been burnt toast for like almost every game this year. He made maybe 4 plays and that's it.
He's also old.
He's also old though, but that's why I was like, can somebody put a 30-something-year-old man on that side of the field, please?
Yeah. He's also, 5'9"?
Yeah, he's 5'9". He's not very tall. He's not very tall at all. But,
yeah.
I mean, like, with who they're saying the Chargers are going after, that should be very fun.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Have you seen who they've been targeting?
No, I have no clue. I have no Chargers talking about
right now, Chargers are targeting, mind you, they're only targeting, they might not get them all, Tyrann Mathieu. Because he's...
Tyron's going to the Ravens.
He might.
Everybody thinks he's going to the Ravens.
We'll see, because he was bonding a lot with Derwin James over the Pro Bowl. So, who knows? He might choose to go there just to team with Derwin James.
I mean, yeah.
Stephon Gilmore.
I think Gilly's washed a little, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, J.C. Jackson is who I'd rather have out of those two, to be honest.
Yeah, but J.C.'s going to demand a purse, a nice hefty purse.
I think so, too, which is why I think we'll probably settle for Stephon. I know
Stephon would be better than Chris Harris, I guess.
Yeah. I think they said they were mentioning going after Von Miller. Which, when you have...
I can see him going there.
Yeah, I'd love to see him, because him and Bosa on the same field is going to be problems. But do I think they get him? Maybe. He's already talked about...
Who's the rusher on the other side of Bosa?
Bosa right now, I think opposite him is Enchanted and Nwosu.
Oh, okay.
But it's either him or occasionally I think it was forgot who the other guy was. I think Chris Rove played pretty well without Bosa on the field, to be honest. But I don't know who the other. I know there was two people that were kind of flippy floppy who would rush with Bosa. I know Nwosu was one. I can't remember who the other guy was.
Well, I just know the only reason I asked because I know the key to beating the Chiefs was a lot of just zone blitzes. Well, I mean, not even zone blitzes, like coverage sacks.
I think
they were just running 4 every time.
I forgot who we were playing, but I remember there was this one time where both our safeties met at the quarterback. And
met at the quarterback?
Yeah, at the quarterback. Like, I think it was Nasir Adderley and Derwin James both hit the guy at the same time and took him to the ground. But that's one of the reasons why, if we get Tyron, I think that would be amazing. Because Nasir has been pretty good in coverage. And we know how good Tyrann Mathieu is. So, if you ever want to blitz Derwin James, you have that option if you pick up Tyron, because then you don't lose the coverage when you do that.
Yeah, Tyron's also getting old. He's going to demand money because he's just a really good football player. Like, he just has high football IQ. He's also getting old. I think for him, I don't know. If I'm Tyron, I'm either going to the Ravens or I'm staying, because there's an obvious need for safety with the Ravens, or I'm staying with Chiefs. Like,
I mean, that could happen. I could see either of those happening, actually.
Yeah.
Okay, real quick, I actually wanted to show off the team because I don't think you've actually seen who's on this team. Mind you,
team on here? Are we undefeated so far? That's awesome.
6-1-1. We have one loss on the season. And a tie. But this is mainly still basically the Steelers, just in a different uniform.
Yeah.
But we have the rookie quarterback, obviously. We still have Najee Harris, Benny Snell. Basically, the receiving core outside of Harris here are all the same as last season. And I signed Harris because I just felt like he was better. I think Deontay Johnson was a couple years older. And I don't know, I just never see him produce in, like, simulation games. So I got rid of him and kept Juju. Yeah. Chase Claypool. Yeah, Juju's still here. I debated trading him instead of Deontay Johnson, but he's younger than Deontay Johnson. And Deontay Johnson has butterfingers anyway, so. I signed Forrest Lamp because we lost our right guard, I think. And then basically the entire front five is basically the same as it was, other than Forrest Lamp.
Forrest Lamp he's a Charger, right?
He's a Jet, I think, right now.
Oh, he used to be a Charger?
Yeah. Obviously, I traded for Asante Samuel Jr. I think he's always progressed very well for me. I traded for Kwity Paye.
Is that your favorite Charger right now?
Outside of Herbert and Derwin, yeah.
Yeah.
Then
he's easy to like, too.
Traded Greg Rousseau. Because I feel like Greg Rousseau's better. Basically what I did was I got rid of all the super old players on this roster. And I traded for players that will fill in for those spots as well as draft picks.
Fair enough.
Obviously,
I like it.
I can't not have TJ Watt on the team. Like, that would just be dumb. Come on.
He's a beast.
I got Jerome Baker. And honestly, even though he has the speed, I'm getting rid of Devin Bush just because I don't like Devin Bush. He's an asshole.
Yeah.
But, yeah, there's that. And then the same people who have been here from before for special teams. I could easily trade for someone like Justin Tucker or something like that and get a really good fucking kicker for almost nothing. But I like this way. I like allowing the players to kind of play out their contracts and whatever and then replace them later.
Yeah, you like doing these franchises, right? Like, yeah, I don't see you. Do you dabble into Ultimate Team?
I actually do. In fact, let me save this and I can actually show you my team right now if you want. Mind you, I had to restart this team. I started this team when I lost my other account, so it's not something I was using from the beginning of the year. But this is just what I've done with, coin making methods, solos, those type of things. This was the one I spent like $20 on just to get a solid starting team. Because obviously a lot of the promos aren't, or some of the things aren't available anymore. Like I couldn't do the Blitz thing to get Derwin James, so.
Yeah, but you can still buy him off for training, no?
Yeah, I can buy his training. I can buy him off the auction house for that, and then obviously there's this new card which I'd have to, buy off, or I can do training or do the other way of getting him.
Yeah.
But real quick, gonna show you this team. Now, like I said, I only spent a little bit of money on the team when I first started it, just so I had some competent players on it. But this was widely coin making and just able to find the deals when they were there to get the players I needed. Okay, I just remembered I sold 2 items this morning for $58K.
I mean, when did you start?
This started probably November or December.
91 overall, it's not too bad.
And this...
$20 in?
This is what the team looks like. Go ahead and have a gander.
Okay, we got Joey B. We got a little bit of a Joe Mixon. I like it. Calvin, Tyreek. Yeah, it's not bad at all, especially for like a pretty much no money spent team, right?
Yep, definitely almost a no money spent team for sure. My backup here is actually, he sometimes lines up a tight end, but I had to get the meme himself, Robert Hunt, on this team.
That Robert Hunt card is...
He's very deadly on the goal line. And then here's the defense.
There's so many of those cards nowadays, of like the big old lineman or whatever, or even what's his face? I'm forgetting his name. Warren Sapp? No, the fridge. What's his name, man? I keep forgetting.
Gus.
Not Gus. Starts with a
Not
W.
Gus.
Will Perry. There we go.
Yeah.
That's his name. Like that fullback version, the Ghost. That's a hell to play against. The Vita Vea halfback card, all that stuff.
But here's the defense.
Okay, I like it.
Out of position Cam kind of goes crazy, by the way.
Pardon?
This Cam Newton right here, this middle linebacker Cam Newton, kind of goes crazy.
Do you play online at all?
I haven't walked this team into online play yet, because I'm still kind of trying to build it up a little bit more. But, like, your team's good when, like, Von Miller and I think TJ Watt's on this team somewhere. I got Matthew Judon as a backup, by the way. And then I got this Nada right here from Laserbeam.
Oh, that Haloni Nada card. God. Yeah, thankfully, I wasn't playing too much Madden when he came out, so...
And I have Rasul Douglas, and I have this guy, whoever he is. I can't see his name, but there he is.
You have one of 13 Ed Reed cards that they have in this game right now?
Yeah, I only had him placed here because I can't quite get Rodney Harris and the rest of his card yet.
Yeah.
But he's a solid enough until I decide I want to get a different guy to start there. And then I guess since we're in here, might as well open some packs. I have some coin.
Yeah, I gotta go in like 5 minutes or so that...
Alright, well you can...
Ending to it
yeah,
all.
you can stick around for the 3 packs. I think we have just enough time for that.
What are you doing? Pro Fantasies?
Yeah, just Pro Fantasies.
Let's get it.
Nothing too wild. Let's see if Super Splash Luck is with us here.
Some little splash luck. It's been a while since we've been able to pull some packs on stream, so...
Well, I've pulled a 90 and a 91 while watching Luch the last couple days, so...
Really? That's not too bad at all.
Alright, let's see. First card, gold, who cares? Okay, small legend. 87 small legend, okay. That's good for a first round. 82, 77 and 78, I guess. 87 in the first round is definitely not bad, though. Anything good?
Definitely not.
Nope,
That's
79.
93. Oh, never mind.
Okay, 84 out of the second round is not too bad, to be honest.
So you made your coins back, I think.
Yeah, I think I made my coins back with that 87. Let me real quick check that since we have a little bit of time for me to do a little bit of checky checks. Okay, that's 7. Okay, so I might have lost a couple thousand on that pack, but an 87 is good for training, though.
Yeah.
And I think I have with Burrow, I just need his Team of the Week and his playoff card. Which I really hope they give a training option for one of those.
I don't think they're going to give him training options.
I don't think so
Redux, but they're going to go for a hefty price for sure.
Okay, so let's see if anything comes out of our second out of 3 packs here.
What if you just pull like a full legend right now?
That'd be probably prove that you definitely bring luck to pack openings. Okay, 81 in the first round's not too bad. Okay, aside from that 81, it was garbage. Okay, let's see if the second round brings us anything glitchy here. Team of the Week, 80, not good. Small Legend, 91?
Oh, what's up with these smalls, man? 91's not bad.
91's not too bad. Russ's 91 netted me 40K, I think it was.
Whose?
Russell Wilson's.
Oh, yeah, but Russell's expensive.
But Russ is also a quarterback, so.
Yeah, he's an expensive
Okay, that's not too bad, though. 35K, that's not bad. That pays for 2 packs.
You have time for more packs?
We have time for 1 more pack. I think I have enough for 1 more pack. Yeah, I do. And then we can go ahead and do our closing statements and then send you off to, send the viewers off to somebody after that. Okay, 1 last pack. Let's see if you bring some last-minute luck to the stream. I mean, you already got us a 91 and an 87, and that basically matches what Luch has been doing. Let's see if you can one-up him, though. Small Legend, 82.
I need a big one, man. I need a big legend. Come on.
I mean, full Drew Tranquil. That's pretty good. You know, he's a... I kind of wish he got a better card, though. Because Drew Tranquil hasn't been that bad, or wasn't that bad this past year. Okay, Combine.
There's a Saint in there, too.
88.
Oh, what is that? Oh. I haven't even opened up any of those Campus Heroes packs, so I don't even know. I mean, not Campus Heroes, but...
Combine packs, but yeah,
Combine.
I haven't opened them either. I only did like 1 training roll. If I remember correctly, this goes for just over 10K. Yeah, it's 10K. Bad. So I basically made my money back when I saw that 91.
Yeah, so nothing terrible.
Oh, look, do we have enough for... Oh, we actually have enough for 1 more pack. I thought that it said 22, not 32. So we have enough for 1 more pack here. All right, we have 1 more shot for you to get us something really good on stream here. Yeah, I think Up and Adam and CJ said me and Rock should do like a weekly thing because it was that enjoyable. Really? Who knows? Maybe I can find somebody to do that with down the line. Once I've ran out of ideas for guests. Okay, 81 in the first round is not bad.
It's not a bad idea to have a guest, right? I mean, not a guest, but a co-host.
Yeah, I'm thinking of who I could have do that, because a lot of the people, much like yourself, are kind of trying to climb up that ladder right now, so...
I mean, I would love to, but even for me, as I said, like, I haven't even been streaming myself, right?
Okay, 85 out of the last round. Okay, so... We had a nice little 1 hour, 30-minute stream here. You want to say anything to the viewers here?
I don't know, man. It's been a pleasure. It's always fun getting to know Couch, and you know, yeah, it seems like I love to do this again because it seems like you always have some good life stories. For me, just been busy. I'm hoping to get back into the Twitch street soon, man. Even as a viewer, I feel like I haven't even been there as a viewer, so I would love to get back very, very shortly. yeah, hope y'all don't miss me too much.
Alright, well, I can definitely say it is weird not seeing a few of the boys up, you included. But obviously everyone has a real life outside of the streaming world, and you know, everyone's gotta earn that bread offline before you can hop on and start doing stuff online, you know?
Exactly.
Can't stream if you don't have a house.
Definitely do miss it.
Okay, so
Sorry, what did you say?
I said you can't stream without a house.
That's very true.
Okay, so with you on the mic real quick, let's go ahead and... What do we think about Rose Shocker catching the raid today?
I would love Rose Shocker to catch a raid. I love Ro. Ro's always one of my, when I would stream, he was one of my go-tos for sure. He's just a genuinely good dude.
Okay, I think I did that wrong. Okay, yeah, I didn't capitalize the O. I hate that it's so fucking tedious what stuff you, like, can't forget to put on here.
It must be different for PlayStation,
Okay, let me try somebody else, because apparently the Twitch is not liking the raid option there. Damn, this is normally where I try to raid, like, Big Evo or something like that, but, Big Evo's not on right now. Am I doing the wrong slash or something? No, that's not
What
it.
do you have to get it on?
It says, like...
You have to do it on...
I do it on my phone.
Okay, the right slash is the one...
Okay, there you go. We're gonna raid Who is Beans.
Okay, that works as well.
Alright guys, well, thank you for hanging out with me and Splash today. Hopefully you guys learned something new about the man behind the camera. Tomorrow is actually, we're going to have tomorrow off, and then, well, off of podcasts, I'll be streaming again tomorrow. But the next day, we're going to have Jake the Savage on for an interview, so stay tuned for that. And I'll see you guys then.
Nice that you